All right, we're officially live. All right, so Ryan, appreciate you joining us today. Just going to be talking a little bit about financial health, financial wellness, and Ryan is with Capital South Wealth Management, and basically, kind of want to give you the chance just to tell us a little bit about you and what you do. So, go ahead and take it away.
Obviously, my name is Ryan Gisclair. I am a certified financial planner. I've been in the industry for quite a few years now, I think 8 or 9 years. I work with my business partner, James Bayard, also a certified financial planner. What we do is we basically help people to figure out their financial lives, essentially. It all goes back to retirement, but everybody thinks, hey, I'm 25, I'm 30, retirement may never happen for me, but there are definitely small steps that you can start taking on the front end that will greatly impact the rest of your life. And if we're working with young professionals, that's what we're really trying to do. We're trying to help them out and just to get set on the right disciplines and on the right path. And retirees, we're trying to just help them land safely. A lot of people climb Mount Everest, but die on the way down. Well, these people made it to retirement. We're trying to make sure that they get down safely, essentially.
Yeah. So you kind of work with people all over the spectrum from, whether they're just starting out in their career or they're, entering retirement or in retirement.
We do. We kind of made that decision when we first started our business. A lot of people, especially young professionals, find it hard to find financial advisors who will work with them because they might not have the assets that people want to get under management. That's where people generally probably make the most money in our industry. But we feel it's important that for that community, we've been there before, that they really get the advice that they need. One day they will eventually start to invest, but they need to learn where to stick their money in the right place now and need somebody to help guide them and just to make sure they're doing the right things with their money. Even if it's, how to deal with student debt. People don't know how to do that all the time either. So we decided we kind of have a barbell clientele. We have our retirees and pre-retirees over here, but we also have our young professionals that we really, we don't want to neglect because, they're an important part of the community and they need to grow up and figure out what to do with their money as well.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, just going to kind of get your opinion on some things. Are you getting any feedback?
A little bit, not much, a little bit. It wasn't enough for me to notice until you really said anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Might
I don't
be
hear
me.
anymore.
Okay.
So what would you say are some of the main advantages to working with a financial professional versus, doing things on your own? Because I feel like, as a young professional, our tendency is to say, I can figure this out, or I don't really even need to be thinking about this right now and just kind of not be managing it. So what would you say are some of the main advantages to working with a professional versus doing it on your own, or I guess not doing it at all?
Well, personally, most of our clients, I would say probably all of our clients are smart enough to go out and do this on their own, but it's going to cost you time. We have spent a lot of time, a lot of schooling and a lot of education to get the knowledge that we have. And I think a lot of people could go out and get that knowledge. It's just, do you have the time on top of your career and being a family man or woman to go out and learn how to adequately handle your finances? It's, if you pay somebody per year for planning or for investing, that's what they're doing from 9 to 5. That's what we're doing during the day is worrying about your dollars, to where on the weekends and at night, you don't have to worry about your dollars. It kind of gives you a peace of mind and it allows you to go do what you do best. And that is your career. For you, it's the insurance world and helping make sure we have the right benefits. If you were to worry about what we do, it would just be kind of another thing in your life. So essentially, I think it's more of a peace of mind. We have expertise that, just like any other field, if I wanted to go And a doctor's a really bad choice there. But if I wanted to go for 4 years and study about medicine, then I could probably diagnose myself, but I don't have the time to do that. That's not my career. That's not what I want to do. But it's a convenience thing. It also allows, there's things out there that people just might not know about. Not everybody knows about the Start 529 system in Louisiana, that we can, it's common knowledge for us because we deal with it every day.
Right.
So it just helps give you guys a little bit, it's a little convenience and stuff that we deal with every day that other people just don't.
Yeah. Okay. So that peace of mind really is the big thing there. And I think that's huge because I know, especially in my industry, people wanting to have that peace of mind about, when they go to the doctor that they're going to be covered. That's a huge thing to them. So I guess in the same way, when you go to retire, you want to know that you're going to have enough money to live out the retirement that you want.
Well, yeah, we have, we've paid for the software that plugs in all the information. We're taking a lot of guesswork out of it. No, nothing's guaranteed. If you use our software, everything's going to come out in that particular manner that we told you, but we have a higher probability of getting it right by looking through all of the things that we utilize here than somebody at home who has a spreadsheet and is just really more living on hope. We're narrowing the cone of your probabilities here, and then putting some action steps into place to try to better your outcome in the future, as opposed to being like, well, I make X amount of dollars a month. If I put away this much per month, I think it'll be enough when I get older. That's more living on hope. And hey, we hope that works out for everybody, but we'd rather kind of put a little bit of science behind it.
And so, as I guess part of y'all's plan, and not to with a secret sauce or anything like that, but part of y'all's plan, I would assume, is coming up with a budget, maybe helping people attack debt, things like that. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. When somebody first comes in, the first thing we want to do is we really want to hear. We don't sit there and pound people with what our services are. We have hundreds of services that might not apply to everybody. We really want to hear, why did you come in? What are your concerns? And what do you want us to help you with? And that way we can really get an understanding of what is keeping this person up at night? What made them want to come to a financial professional? And then work from there. Of course, we're going to probably find, a few other things that we could correct as well. But we really do want to make sure we're taking care of their concerns. But in that, if somebody has a concern that's really not right off the bat what we would consider to be really important or relevant, but yet they don't have life insurance to take care of their family, we'll point them out and be like, hey, throughout our planning process, we have some other recommendations that maybe didn't come up immediately or haven't been at the front of your mind. And that's the type of thing that, it's not everybody knows what they need. That's the same for us in all situations. That's why I pay somebody to fix my air conditioning, because I have no idea how to do that. I don't know what is underneath the hood of a car, much less how to fix it. So that's essentially, there's definitely things that'll come up. Risk management, all your insurances, make sure that you're covered. Budgeting is a huge one. That, I would say that 90% of people's financial problems could be cured with budgeting, but it's something that we all hate to do. I don't know why, but it really is a challenge. And from young people to old people, one of the things that they say when they come in here is, we would like help with budgeting. And it's something that a discipline you need to carry through your whole life, especially in a retirement when you have a finite amount of dollars that you can't spend. So budgeting is huge, and budgeting correctly. You never get a budget right the first time. There's always extra expenses that we didn't think about. So yes, we definitely help with that. And that, especially with the younger people, that is one of the big planning tools. Is we push hey, budgeting, and just the act of sitting down and having to get all your finances together to get them to us for us to do a financial plan is kind of a soul search in itself. Because then you start seeing if James and I, who is in that room, that's why I point over there, heard once, we've heard a million times, I spend too much money on food. We realize we spend too much money on food. Like, everybody spends too much money on food, apparently. But through the process, you figure those kind of things out.
Okay. Yeah, I can attest to the food thing. I have a little thing that tracks my spending, and food is generally one of my highest spending categories, unfortunately.
I think that's all.
So how often would you say that how often would you recommend people go in to see a financial professional for a checkup, or I guess you could say?
Usually we recommend semi-annually. That's kind of how often we meet with most of our clients. Sometimes it's more, some people want to meet more than that, and there are people that we want to meet with more than that. If we just created a plan for you and we have action steps, we might meet with you more as we go through those action steps and make sure we're just hitting our goals. If you have kind of gotten to the point where your plan's in place and it's more a discipline thing, we'll meet semi-annually. But if you have any life event, have a child, get a new job, lose a job, whatever it may be, that's when you probably should go ahead and reach out and say, hey, let's sit down and kind of look at the plan. And because, I mean, things change at the drop of a hat. And you just have to prepare for that.
Yeah. So I guess kind of as, in addition to that, what are some things you would say as young professionals, if you could say maybe if there's one or maybe two things as a young professional that you can start doing now that will have impacts on your financial future?
Ooh, there's a few. First and foremost, definitely risk management. Make sure if you're a young professional, most people who are young haven't had the ability to sock away a lot of money. If something were to happen to you and your spouse, some term insurance to make sure that money's there and your family isn't hurting when you're gone. I would say that's pretty big. Make sure that you have an emergency fund in case something does happen. We are, and I'm sure you probably know this, especially with what you do, but everybody thinks that when you think of something bad happening, everybody thinks of dying. Well, you're way more likely to become disabled than to die. Make sure you have money set aside if something does happen to you, where you and your family won't starve for a few months. Budgeting is obviously a very big one, but also getting into discipline, even if it's a small amount of saving per month, just to where you're slowly building up your savings and it's creating that discipline for later in life. Certainly you can't save as much when you're younger as you can later, but you want to start that and kind of get that going. We've learned, if anything, these past few months have shown us, you can be shut down at any time when you just don't think that. You never saw things coming. We never saw this pandemic coming, right? A lot of people are furloughed for 2 weeks or a month. You just kind of have to be prepared for those things. What was the other one that I was just thinking about? But those are definitely a good start. Definitely meeting with a financial professional, even if it's just a one-time thing, just kind of go over a checklist. Am I doing the right things? Am I in the right direction? Those are all really important things.
Okay. So I guess kind of, what would you say, so kind of ongoing, keeping up with trends and things like that, are there any financial professionals or experts, I guess, that you would recommend, that you kind of, I guess, align with, that you would recommend maybe a book or a podcast or something like that?
The podcast that James, my business partner, actually showed me that I listened to, I have it right here. It's called The Long View from Morningstar. I listen to it when I'm walking my dog. I think he sent me a text just out of the blue and was like, hey, this is a good one. And it has a bunch of different financial experts that come on there, and they talk about a wide variety of topics. The last one, the one that I was listening to, was talking about Roth conversions. Just when's it a good idea to convert your IRA to a Roth conversion and why? And they're little 45-minute to an hour. But if you go through, I think they have 75 different podcasts. There's certainly something that would interest you in the financial world, and one of those, it's a good podcast to listen to.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, I mean, that's kind of all the questions I have. I guess last, just to give you another opportunity to talk about what you guys do. I know, the way that you guys have some niche industries or niche people that you work with. Is there anything you want to talk about there?
Well, I mean, the majority of our business is traditional personal finance. That's for sure. But we do have some niches. I'm a charter special needs consultant. I work with families who have children with disabilities. Planning for them is a little more challenging when you're looking at government benefits that need to be protected and other things. These families never sat back and had the thought that they would have a child with disability. So they never really, sat and thought, hey, what are all the ways that I need to care for my child financially in the future when I'm gone? We help them do that. There's a lot of pitfalls that they can go through. And that's one of the things that we do. That's one of our niches. James works a lot with divorcees. Generally, what we've come to find, at least the ones that we work, when there's a split in the family, one of the spouses or one of the people generally deals with all the money and the other doesn't. When the other all of a sudden has this windfall of cash that they don't know what to do with because they've never managed their finances in their lives, we kind of can help them go through that. We have some experience there. We kind of inadvertently fell into that niche, but it's needed. I mean, it happens quite often. So those are kind of the two main niches that we have. But like I said, mostly personal wealth management. It's never boring. Everybody's story is different. Every situation's different. So it's really neat. The thing I like is to learn how people make money in different ways, because it's always weird hearing how people get into their industry, but I enjoy that. So
well, cool, man. I appreciate you talking with me. If people wanted to get in touch with you or James, how would they do that? Best way to email or?
They can call us at 225-709-0703 or email us. I'm Ryan at capitalsouthwm.com, and James is james@capitalsouthwm.com. We love to chat anytime somebody wants to come in and meet. We don't charge them to do that. We just come in and have a little conversation and see if we work well together and see if we can help out.
Sweet, man. I appreciate it. Well, I'll be sure to post this soon. Appreciate you getting on with us.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to